Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Neem je ook lokaal op? Oh, I'm a little bit. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have another workshop today. Kliment from Germany is going to give us a workshop SMD soldering. He also do that at the CCC and other congresses, I think,
do
right?
this at every opportunity, which there haven't been any since fucking February 2020.
So this is your first time again, so you have to get used again and stuff like that. So we are very happy that Kliment came here from Germany and going to give this workshop. So Kliment, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Surface Mount Electronics Assembly for Terrified Beginners. If you're not a terrified beginner, leave now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically replicate all the things that happen in a professional electronics assembly factory, except we're going to do everything by hand, and we're going to do it better than the machines can. Yeah. So this is a scaled down, de-automated version of the industrial electronics assembly process. And what we're building is this. Let me just put that on the screen. I don't know if you can see very well. It is a cat. And if you touch it right, it lights up. And it's way too quiet to hear on anything, but if you touch it correctly, it will actually purr. And if you touch it wrong, it will hiss at you. Okay. So this has a bunch of scary looking surface mount parts. Don't worry about that. I'm going to explain to you how to handle them and how to make your hands not shake, because shaking hands are optional. Seriously. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to apply some solder paste. This is solder paste. I've got it in this syringe here. So solder paste, we can, when we get the microscope cable, I'll show you on the microscope. It's actually tiny little balls of solder, of metal. And they are mixed with flux. And the flux is a chemical that makes the solder go where we want it to. So it only sticks to metal surfaces. And this is really nice when we have some things that are close together but not touching and we don't want them to touch. The flux makes the solder flow into the metal pieces and away from everything else. And this feature of of solder paste is what makes it super, super easy to assemble tiny things, because they will actually correct themselves. Even if you mess it up, they will actually correct themselves. So we're going to apply solder paste using a stencil. And the stencil is this laser cut piece of metal, and it has holes where the pads of the components will go. Can everyone hear me okay? Good. If you can't hear me, please say so now. Yeah. So the stencil makes our life easier. We don't necessarily need to use it, but it makes everything so much faster. And stencils are actually very cheap to get, so you can get it together with your circuit board. So whenever you order a circuit board, you can pay a few euros more and get a stencil with it. And it just makes your life dramatically easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach the stencil to our board. And to do this, we're going to use these two screws. And we place the stencil on the screws. And it's really important that the screws go in from the bottom of the board. Hey! Welcome! He's gone. Yeah. So the reason the screws go in from the bottom of the board is because the screws are not perfectly flat. So the screw has a thread and a head, and where the two meet, it's very slightly conical. But the nuts are made out of a flat sheet of metal, so they're flat. And we want the stencil to sit flat on the board. So we put the screws in through the board, and we put the nuts on top. And it's really important when you tighten this that you perfectly align the stencil. So this is actually the most difficult part of the entire process, is getting this right, because if you get this right, everything after this is super, super easy. So, huh? Yeah. And also, it's okay if you fuck it up, because if you fuck it up, we can just redo it. Like at this stage, this is all reversible. So it's absolutely no problem if you mess it up. Okay, I'll just go around and inspect. Yeah, that looks good. If you're ready, let me know and I'll come and inspect your work. Yep. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, it's very, very slightly misaligned.
Yeah.
So I can see a tiny bit of black on that edge.
Right. Okay, so shift a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so same with you. It's very slightly misaligned. Actually, this stencil is a bit dirty, so I'm going to give you a clean one. The previous person who used this 2 years ago didn't clean it properly. So I'll give you a fresh one. Where's my stencils? Oh, this one's nice. Okay, can I see him? Yeah, that looks great.
Better, I hope.
Yeah, much better. Okay, can I see?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, that looks good.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, this one, the stencil has got some paste left in it from the previous user who didn't clean it properly. So I'll give you a fresh one.
Ah, now I see.
Yeah.
So the holes are filled.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thanks.
Not your fault.
Hier zie je inderdaad, dat had ik wel niet opgevallen. Ja,
Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so you all have one of these. One of these tools. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to spread solder paste. And this is a bit tricky if you've never done screen printing before. But it's okay because like normally by the third time somebody does this, they know exactly how it feels and they can do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the tool so that it bends a little bit. I don't know how well you can see on the camera. So we're pressing with the tool against the board. And we're going to use this to spread solder paste. And this is the angle that it should be at. So this is the angle for spreading the paste across. And then when you're collecting the paste off, this is the angle it should be at. So, this camera setup is weird. Okay, so like this to collect the paste off, and like this to spread it. Okay? And you want an even pressure the entire time that you're spreading this, so that it spreads over a large surface. So I'm going to do this as an example. So here's some solder paste, which I've spread on here. There's some more. And I'm going to take the tool and spread it over a large area like this. And then collect it. Okay, so I've covered this area, but I've not covered these over here. So I'm going to go again over that area and collect it. And over here. And over here. That's it. Okay, so now there's paste inside the holes, and there's no paste anywhere else. And there's two mistakes you can do in here. And one is not having pressure the entire time. So, like if you don't press down when you're spreading the paste, you will get paste under the stencil. So the stencil is a bit floppy, so it's very easy to actually press through the holes under the stencil. So you want to have an even pressure the entire time. And the other mistake you can make is to do this. Go over it 10,000 times. So there's already paste in there. That pad is full. And when you go over it again and again and again, that paste has nowhere to go. So it's going to crawl under the stencil and spread around and cause short circuits and make you unhappy. Okay. So I'm going to go around and give you some paste. And you can try it out. And it's totally okay to fuck up. We can do this any number of times because we can always clean the board and do it again. And I've given you enough paste for about 4 boards. So most of the paste is going to end up on your tool in the end. This is fine. Hi. Good to see you again. So you guys don't need paste. So the paste material is not super toxic, but it is very mildly radioactive. I recommend not eating it. There are much more effective ways to glow in the dark. For example, eat things that contain potassium rather than bismuth, like this one. So ideally, you do the entire board in about 3 moves. Yeah. No, because like the more times you go over the same area, the messier it's going to be. So people who have done like t-shirt printing or something like this get this on the first time every time. Yeah, people who haven't, huh? Yeah, people who haven't usually get it by the 3rd time. Huh? Yeah, just give me a second because I made a mess because I was showing people how to make mistakes. I'll probably redo this board actually, but yeah, we can see it on the camera. I don't know how well this focuses. Oh! Oh, nice. Do we have it attached now?
Yeah, I can plug it into the TV as well.
It doesn't show anything. Ah, there we go.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
Mijn tablet stuurt een stream op via HTTP. En daar staat de tip. Moet deze nou weer terug doen, hè?
Okay, if you're ready, very gently remove the screws and we'll see what happened underneath.
There will be one big mess.
That's okay. One big mess is fine. Yeah. So you forgot this area? Yep, so don't forget this area here with all the tiny little holes. Okay, you can see now on the screen what the solder paste actually looks like underneath. Huh?
It isn't good, so
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see here that you have some pads with no paste on them.
yeah, so have I.
Yeah. And here we have some paste with pads with too much paste. That's not too bad. This bit over here is slightly misaligned. You see it? So it's just off where the paste should be.
And you have to put too much paste, is that a problem?
Huh?
When you put too much paste, is that a problem?
No, this is fine. This is fine. This will fix itself, and if it doesn't, we'll fix it. That's okay. Yeah, but missing paste is a problem.
Better too much than too few paste.
No, it's actually better to have too little, but you shouldn't have pads that are completely empty. Okay, can I inspect?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, nice. Have you done this kind of thing before? Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, so this is a really nice print. Yeah, that's, I would say this is an ideal print. Yeah, it does. And you see here, there's some blobbing here, and this is fine. This will actually fix itself. Okay, here we have a nice array of blobs. Yeah, so that's nice.
Can get to do it again, or
Yeah, you can do it again. You can do it again as many times as you want. If you want to do it again,
have to clean it?
spray it with alcohol, clean it with paper, and do it again. Make sure it's completely dry before you put the stencil back on. Okay. Okay, so we have one pad there with nothing on it, but that's okay. It's just the one. Those ones, there's several that have nothing on them. Yeah, you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, so you missed a few pads. Yeah, so you can try to actually use your tweezers to blob some paste on the missing pads, or you can put the stencil back on and go over just those areas. And if that doesn't work, then you clean it and do it again. Okay, let's have a look. That looks okay. In this area, it's actually okay if you miss some, that's fine. There's some missing, you see? And there's two missing here. Yeah. It's alright. Try and put the stencil back on. And if it doesn't work, then we can do it again. No, this actually looks good.
The golden square, I miss some. Oh, no, I don't.
No, you don't. You're missing some there, but that's okay. Yeah, looks nice.
Lucky beginner.
Yep.
Thank you. Can I use it again, or I have to?
You can use it again, yeah. If it's so, this is the solder paste is a bit like paint, so it dries very quickly if it's spread thin. So if it feels like you can still spread it, you can use it. But we have plenty of solder paste.
I think I missed one.
No, that looks great. You want to see on the microscope? Okay. Yeah, so this is a really good print. That looks really nice. Yeah, there's one missing there. That's an optional part. So you can try and use your tweezers to blob on some paste on that pad, just for practice. How's yours?
Was one or two missing, so I did clean it already.
Okay.
Try it again. Practice makes perfect.
Oh, that looks pretty nice, yeah. So you've gone over it a bit too many times, so it's a bit thick. And this is only a problem for this part here. That part is optional, so we can leave it like this, or we can try and manipulate it under the microscope. You want to try to do that? I can show, yeah. So this is otherwise a good print, except this part over here is just one big blob. So what we're going to try to do is actually pull it apart a bit. That should work.
Rest is fine?
The rest is fine, yeah. Okay, who still needs inspection? Yes. Okay. So on this one, there's too much paste everywhere. So this area here, this is what happens when you go over it too many times. Yeah, the D6 is, yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it, so, but you know, you're talking and I don't know what you're meaning. So
Yeah, so what happened is those should be 4 separate pads. Yeah, so they on another board, they look like this. Yeah. So you can see the shape of the holes in the stencil. And what's happened here is that you had paste in the stencil and you went over it again. And it pressed the paste through. And you can actually see the two levels. One that was in the hole and one that goes around the hole. You see it? Yeah. So this will work, except for the optional parts. But I recommend you do it again, just for practice. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, this is really hard to do with this microscope because it's laggy. So here is an optical microscope, which you can use for this. Have fun. So this is the big problem with digital microscopes. They have a delay. So if you're actually trying to manipulate something under the microscope, it's much better to have an optical microscope which you can look through. Okay, this will still solder correctly for that part. Yeah, except for the optional parts like U2, which is just one big blob. Yeah, but this is clearly gone over too many times. You want to try again, or? Go on.
If I understand, most ideal you only pass one time.
Yeah, one time over each pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone need inspection? Yes. Okay, that looks really good actually. Yeah, let me check that bit. Yeah, so those pads are missing. You can add some solder to them if you want. Just blob it on with the tweezers. Oh, so this area is missing. So these pads here, yeah, they're missing. Mm. How was yours?
Yeah, you checked mine already. I was wondering whether around the golden square there is enough, because you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
quite
no,
a lot of
that-
gold instead of.
No, this is correct. So on large chips like this one. So this is actually the correct amount of solder in the middle, because what happens if you have it completely covered with solder, the solder kind of goes up like a hill, and then the part will actually float on that solder and not make contact on the sides.
I thought I missed some of the contacts on the top, but
No, it's fine.
have some in, I see.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay. You have some solder paste?
Yes, I have lots of solder paste.
I have some here on my, there's actually a little on your.
No. Just use fresh one when available. It makes everything better.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
Thank you.
You've now smudged this whole area. It's okay. Leave it smudged. It will be fine actually. It will work. Okay, if you're ready and I said your board is fine, clean your stencil. Now, to clean your stencil, can we switch screen again? Okay. Right. So to clean your stencil, you place it on a piece of paper. You spray through the holes with alcohol, and then you use another part of the piece of paper to press the paste through the holes into the paper underneath. And then you flip it over and you do it again. So the idea is to push the paste into the paper through the holes. Yep. Yep. That looks much better.
You need the other one now.
It's fine, it's fine.
Still work in progress, right?
Okay, so we have this optional part which has no paste on it. You see the U2? Yeah, this one's optional. It's fine if it doesn't work. That's actually, I'll tell you more about this part later, but that's a part that most pick and place machines cannot place correctly. So if you can place it correctly, you're better than most machines ever made. And those three parts in the corner there also have no paste. You can try to blob some paste on manually if you want, but this is optional. So. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks really nice actually. So these are blobbed together, but that's okay because there's still little enough paste that they will separate themselves. This bit here I'm a bit worried about, but we can try and take some away. There we go. There's actually some. That's hair. Yeah, everything else looks great. This will probably work. Okay. When you're cleaning your stencil, make sure you don't spray your board. Okay, you need inspection? Or you're done? Okay, great, great. Okay, who is still not done? You're still not done and you need inspection? Yes. Let's have a look. Okay, so these are optional parts. No, so here we still don't have any paste. Yeah. Did you just reuse the stencil or did you clean it in between? Okay, so I recommend you clean it and you go over it again with fresh paste because, yeah, and the stencil because now there's paste in the stencil that's probably dried. You need fresh paste, right? Yes. Okay. There's still paste in your stencil, and the stencil is slightly misaligned, so I can see the black pads on this part. Yeah.
Did I clean this one properly? I think so.
Yeah, looks good.
Can you get some paste? I've got some here, but
No, you'll get fresh paste, but touch your stencil first. Let me see how much of a mess I made on mine actually. Yeah, so you can see here that I've actually blobbed you two entirely together. So I'm going to attempt to deblob it. It's really nice, the relative size of the tool and the part. So this is a 0.4 millimeter pitch 6-pin memory. So like there's a memory chip in that size. And the only reason it's on this board is so that if you actually make it work, you can brag about it. Because most pick and place machines cannot handle parts like this.
What is the market then for those parts? Yeah.
Really tiny things that need storage. So you see this chip in like implantable medical devices. You see it in like the kind of cameras that you can swallow. That sort of things. Yeah, I don't know if this will work, but it's good enough. Yeah, this is where I intentionally went over too many times, and you can see this really nice clean edge where where the stencil ends and where the paste went under the stencil. You see it? Yeah. Okay. You need inspection, or oh, you need paste. I'm getting ahead of myself, and you haven't cleaned your stencil. There's still paste in there. You see it? Yeah, exactly. And because there's dried paste in there, when you do it again, it will do exactly the same thing. Okay. Everyone else is ready except you two and you. You need paste. Let me check your alignment. So your alignment is very slightly off. So you can see here, on one side it's black, on the other it's gold. You see it? And it should be gold entirely.
Put this one wrong in the
Oh yeah,
that's a problem probably.
possibly. It will make your life harder when you remove the stencil.
Okay.
Now it's aligned. You see it?
Yep.
And you need paste. This is fun.
Okay.
Okay. And you need paste as well.
So what I did is I put it on a flat surface and then it starts to wobble. So
Mhm.
should I keep it in my hands or what?
Yeah. So
That's better, right?
so you're supporting it from below,
Yes.
and from the top you're pressing down on it.
Right, okay.
I did say the stencil is the hardest part. It gets way easier after this. There you go. Okay, so pre-registration, we're going to need this camera soonish. Can everybody see? Okay, so can you see my hands on the screen? Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to cancel out the shaking of our hands. The way you do this is by using proprioception. So your body knows where it is. But it knows where it is relative to the rest of your body. So let's just do a bit of experiment. So like hold your hands in front of each other like this, not quite touching. And you should see some shaking. You see it? Okay. Now bring them together so that just your fingertips touch. And now you'll see that the point where they touch is perfectly solid and all the other fingers are shaking. You see that? So the reason this happens is because having to look at something and figure out where it is, all this signaling has to go through your visual system, and the visual system of the brain is super slow. So what happens is you go like, okay, I want my finger to be here. And then you look at it and you go like, okay, that's just a tiny bit too high. So it needs to go down a bit. So it goes down a bit. And then by the time you've done that, it's gone too far. So you go, oh shit, it needs to go up now. And then this is where the shaking comes from. So we can cancel out the shaking by removing the delay. And your touch sense has no delay. When you touch something, you know where you are instantly relative to that thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch parts of our hand to other parts of our hand. So I have the tweezers sitting on my middle finger, and I'm using those two fingers to open and close them. And my thumb and my forefinger are touching my middle finger. And this stabilizes the tweezers relative to the hand. And then we put the hand on the table, and now this point of contact where the hand is touching the table is stable relative to the tweezer tips. And you can test this out by just lifting and placing your hand down, and you'll see the stability go away and come back. Now, if you stretch your hand a bit from the point where you're touching, then it will start shaking again because you're too far from that point of contact. And you can cancel that out by placing your other hand on the table and touching. And this stabilizes your tweezer tips. So you can switch stability on and off like this. And this is just bypassing your slow visual system part of the brain with the fast touch sensing part of the brain. And then we can just pick up a part and place it wherever you want. Now, when you're holding a part in the air, you want your hand to be touching the table at all times. And you'll find this makes it really hard to rotate the part. So what you do is you can rotate everything else relative to your hand. So this is one reason you have those mirrors in there. You can rotate the whole mirror. You can rotate the board. You can rotate the part before you pick it up. But once you've picked it up, you want to be moving in straight lines. So not rotating your hand. So I'm going to go around and give you your first parts. And the people who still need to do their stenciling, do your stenciling. It's fine, we have plenty of time. Okay, so here are your first two parts. And this is C1 and C2. And can we switch to microscope again? So, can you see on the microscope? Yeah, so you pick up the part like this, and you place it where you want it to go, and that's it. That's all you need to do. C1 and C2. Can I see? Okay, so there's too much paste overall, I think. But other than you two, this will work. So if you want to try and pull you two apart a bit, but other than that, it's fine. Okay. C1 and C2. And they go between the two pads like a bridge.
They have no direction.
They have no direction. So these are 1 microfarad capacitors in size 0603. Now 0603 means they are 6 by 3 centi-inches in size. Yes, centi-inches. This is how Americans do metric. Yeah, there are various sizes of parts, and they're all named like this. So you have 0603, 0805, 1206, 0402, and then at some point they start getting a bit absurd, like 0201 and 01005. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah, you want to see on the microscope?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sorry, can I? Yeah, that looks pretty good actually. So those 4 pads here have blobbed together, but other than that, it's fine. Yeah. So I'm going to deblob it a bit. Yeah, so I'm using the same technique of stabilizing my hand to deblob your parts. Yeah, that looks good. Mm-hmm. You probably want to do this on the optical microscope, which is here. Okay, who still needs parts?
One more time, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so everybody plays those 2 parts? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, looks great. So you already know how to do this. This was the hardest bit. Now you just need to do this again and again and again. So here's your next 2 parts. These are 2 resistor networks, RN1 and RN2.
Okay.
They are the same, and it doesn't matter which way around, but conventionally the black bit goes on top. There is no difference, but conventionally black goes on top so you can read the text. That's C1 and C2. C2 is here, C1 is here. Yeah, and I'll give you your next parts already. That's RN1, RN2. There and there. Okay, who still needs parts? All right. Yep, coming.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good. All right. Oh, careful. Don't smudge it. So clean your stencil, clean your tools, clean your mirror, and I'll give you some parts. Okay, and yeah, that looks good.
If you move them, will the pads go away?
So if you want to move them, lift them and then place them again. But this is fine. They're fine as they are. Okay, so those resistor networks I just gave you, they're actually 4 separate resistors joined together in one part. And this exists to make your life easier, so you don't have to place 4 really tiny parts if you just need to place a bunch of identical ones. Yep.
C1 and C2, was it?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, when you pick up a part, try and pick it up by the middle so that your tweezers don't go into the paste. Because if your tweezers go into the paste, parts will stick to your tweezers and you'll have to clean your tweezers. Okay. You're doing good? Great. Okay, everyone done with Rn1 and Rn2? Okay. So I'm going to give you your next part. Now we're going a size down. Okay? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was wrong actually. The ones you just placed are 0805. So 8 by 5 centi-inches. And the next one is 0603. So 0603 size, and this is C3. C3. Yep. That's C3, and I'll give you Rn1 and Rn2 as well. Oh, one Rn too many. So that's
R1 and R2.
yeah,
right?
Rn1, Rn2, and this is
RN1,
C3.
okay, thanks.
Okay. How are you doing? Okay. C3.
Very nice.
Yep, everyone doing okay? There is now an enormous decision to be made. So we have a bunch of LEDs on the back of the cat, which light up when you touch different parts of it. And those can be either pink or white. And you need to decide. And you need parts, right? Yes. You can. So these are C1 and C2. I'll give you your next parts as well. That's Rn1 and Rn2. And this is C3. Okay, so decisions. You still need your C3, yes. Okay, you already have C3? No? But you have Rn1 and Rn2, yes. Okay, there's your C3. Okay, so have you made your decision? Yes? Okay, so who's going for pink? I'll go around with pink first. Okay. So now there you have a piece of paper next to you which says the tricky bits. And in the top right is the direction of these LEDs. Yes.
I'm still looking for C1. Where is it?
C1 is right there. You see it?
Yes.
Pink. And these are the first part that has a direction. And the direction is only marked on the bottom. However, this is why you have a mirror. So there's one line that goes across and one line that points towards one pad.
Color is upside.
Huh?
The color is upside.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see on your sheet of paper, it points into the box that's printed on your board. So that's D1 through to D5. Oh, did you want pink?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's good.
It's okay, you can choose.
Can I also have like 3 pink ones and 2 white ones?
Yeah, sure. Okay, remind me later when I'm doing white. Does anyone still want pink? Pink, pink, pink? Huh? Pink? Sure. No singing Aerosmith. Huh? We're good. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. So, who wants white?
so that's
So those have to go on the right way.
where do I have to put them?
That's D1 through to D5.
Oh yeah.
So you see, there's there, 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 there.
And
Direction.
There is a direction, yes. Look on your sheet of paper which shows the direction. And you wanted 2 white ones. Who still needs white? I gave you one too many. That's okay. Anyone else still need white? So use the mirror.
What was the orientation?
Okay, so underneath they have a little T,
Yeah.
and the part of the T that points towards one side over here
Oh,
points into the box that's printed on the circuit board. Okay, so underneath, you see underneath
Yes.
there's a little line across,
Yeah.
and it points to one side,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and the arrow direction
Yeah.
is the same as the direction the
Oh,
line
yes.
points.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here. Need help? Yeah, and also you haven't cleaned the stencil. Do you want a fresh stencil? Stabilize your hand. How's it going? You need help?
I'm okay with retrying, but
Um,
I want to get it right.
if you get too frustrated, I can still do it for you.
Thanks for the offer.
And the last one.
Question?
Should the T be down?
Okay, look over here. So the T is on the board side, and it points into the box. So it goes on like this, exactly like this, but the underside is going that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can use the mirror to see. You just lift it a bit.
Yeah.
You can see underneath.
Yeah.
You see it?
And one escaped. I only have 4 now.
Yeah, I'll get you another. It's fine. We have so many. There you go. So the thing is, actually, if you're just doing 1 or like 5 boards, it's faster to do them by hand than program a pick and place. Because programming a pick and place takes half a fucking day. Okay, everyone ready? No? Okay, take your time, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, we have plenty of time. The most difficult part is over for all but one of you.
I think it's clean. It's just it seems like the borders of the mask is a little bent or something. Or I think I've cleaned it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, looks good to me. I'll get you some paste. No, stay. There we go. Have some paste. So hold on. You want to hold it like this, so then you have much more control over the angle. You see? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now, like, if you have it here, you can. If you have it between this finger and this finger, you can press here and adjust the angle. You see? So then you can spread it like this, and you have much more control. Mm-hmm. There we go. Are you?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. I think I still have D1 to do as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can get you another one. It's probably somewhere around here, but you have enough. Where are my pink LEDs? There.
There's a R in one there.
Oh, that's okay. It is an LED. It's a special LED. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so are you ready to go on to that one? Okay, so I have no idea how to explain this correctly. So I took several photos. I took several photos of how it's supposed to go on. There are 2 green lines on the back of the thing, and they need to go on like in the picture. So notice that the picture is looking from the opposite side of D6. Yeah. And this is the most confusing thing. I don't know why it's so confusing. It has to sit flat on the board, not pointing up. For some reason, people are really confused by this. So where's my assembled kitten? There's my assembled kitten. So I can show you on here. It's upset, it's hissing. Yeah, you can see this is how it's supposed to sit. Flat on the board. Okay, so you need one of these. And you need one of these.
Images from your box and put it under the microscope.
No problem. If you have a microscope near you, you can also place things under the microscope. Other way around. No, it goes that way.
Oh.
Yes. There are 8 possible ways to place it, and only one is correct. We're going up in difficulty here.
Thank you.
So this is 3 separate LEDs in one package.
Oh yeah.
What color? Pink. Yep. You're not the first to do so, and you will not be the last.
Thanks.
How did you see it that way? I had to put it wrong.
No. No, it's still wrong. It's pointing that way. It should be pointing that way.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So like this, it should go on like this.
Oh yeah, thank you.
The two middle pads are tiny.
Yeah, they are tiny. Everything here is tiny. So tiny is relative.
Yeah, but
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That looks good. That looks good. How are you doing?
We'll use it as it is.
Yeah. Let me scratch that up a bit with the cyber microscope. No, the cyber microscope is out of battery. I can still see. Yeah, no, I can't see anymore because it's got the fog on it. Of course, the battery had to die exactly then. No, I'll try and unpick this later. Okay, do you know what to do? Okay. Yeah. So C1 and C2.
Yes.
So you pick them up. You put the tweezers like this. You pick up a part. And then you place it. Like that. Okay? So that's C1 and C2. There's C3 over there. RN1, RN2. And the 5 diodes, except the 5th one's gone missing. I'll bring you on. Oh no, there it is.
Statistically, how many of the prints work after assembly?
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to remove some short circuits,
Yeah, and then
but
reassemble it.
yeah.
Okay.
But in general, they all work. Yep, that looks good. Yep. Yep, that's correct. Excellent. Have I checked yours yet? Yep. Okay, are we ready for the next part?
Yep.
Okay, so the next part has to be placed correctly in 2 dimensions, and it has an orientation. And this is our microcontroller. And in one corner, it has a little dimple. Let me just show you on the microscope. So, you see that blob here? Yeah, that is pin 1. And on your board, you have a big white point. Yeah, so those need to point into the same corner. Okay? And try to center it, and don't press down on it too much because you can smudge the paste underneath. So just place it gently. The most important thing is the orientation with this.
Thank you.
The last still. That's underneath.
Yep.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, did you understand about the orientation of these? Okay, so you see that on the bottom they have one green line that points to one side. Like here. And that points into the box. So you see there's a box around each one.
Yes.
D1, D2, D3. it points into the box. Okay. Everybody has a microcontroller? Yeah, everybody has one? Has everybody placed one? Nice. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, yours is slightly rotated. Yeah. So very gently nudge it. Yeah, you don't even need to lift it. You can just actually you can use like the vibration of your hand and just bring it in a bit and it will rotate. This is also really fun to do under the microscope. Yeah, yours is too far down,
Okay.
like towards you.
Yeah.
It needs to go further that way.
Okay.
So you can see actually, like here you can see the paste
Yeah.
on top
And not on the other side.
and not on the
I
bottom,
understand.
exactly. So
Okay.
you want the same amount of paste on 4 sides. So easiest way to fix this in your case is to lift it and then place it down again.
Okay.
Yeah, in your case as well. So you can see paste on top, but not on the bottom. So you want to lift it and then place it down again in the correct place. So the reason this happened is you were looking at an angle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to look straight down and then you place it correctly. Yeah, that looks really good. Yep, nice, well done. Okay, yours is very slightly rotated, but I would leave it, it will probably fix itself. Yes,
And a dot over there.
exactly.
Okay. Then just
Yeah.
put it on.
Yeah, same direction, notch goes.
Thank you.
How are you doing with the stabilization? Does it work?
It is okay. I just lost one LED. So
It's okay. Do you want another one?
yes. Well, if you say it's okay without.
No, no, no. We have all the LEDs.
These things do have a tendency to get lost somehow.
Yeah. This is fine. There you go. Okay. Everybody ready with the chip? Okay, so I'll give you the next part. Yes. I'll give you the next part, and the next part is our speaker, and our speaker has a notch on the bottom. So, can you see it? There's a notch on the bottom. This is the bottom side. It also has a dot on the top side, which can be in any corner. It has not been placed in any particular place. So, you want the notch on the bottom to point towards the outside of your board, so away from the middle. Okay, that's LS1. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the notch on the bottom points away from the middle of your board. You can lift it and place it down again if you feel it's not in the right place. Did everybody get a speaker? Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, just want to make sure that, yeah, this looks good. Yeah, so on this side it's not quite perfectly aligned, but I would leave it like this.
Okay.
Yeah, because it will fix itself.
I just can't see it with my eyesight.
Yeah, yeah, it's really hard to see, but like,
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah.
yeah, you can see it in the pattern because the lines either align or they don't. Okay, are we ready to go smaller? So all parts from here on now are optional. Other than the battery holder, which we'll put on later, none of them are actually necessary to make the board work. But they are necessary for another purpose. So we have this area at the bottom here that's labeled 0402. You see it? So this has two functions. One is so you can show off, of course. But the other is when we solder these boards later, when we reflow them, we're not going to be able to tell which one belongs to whom. So you need to make a pattern that you can recognize in that area. And in the sense of you had one job, I don't want to hear like, oh, I'm not sure if this is mine later on. Okay?
What are these for components?
These are capacitors. I can also give you resistors in that size if you want to be more artistic and combine things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are 0402s. These are not the smallest size available. Okay, so you still need to put that LED.
What is it, an LED?
Yeah, that goes on there. And it sits flat on the board like this. And when you look at it from this side, it should look like this picture. Okay? All right, have fun. Who needs 0402s? And I can give you some resistors in the same size as well, if you want. You don't have any yet. Okay, when people are manipulating these, don't bump the table. Because, yeah, there is a problem with bumping the table. There's two problems, actually. One is that obviously you'll make your neighbors angry. The other is your neighbors are holding a sharp thing in their hands and you're within range. So does somebody want resistors as well? Okay, if they're sticking to your tweezers, clean your tweezers. Spray some alcohol on some paper and use that to clean your tweezer tips.
That is definitely.
Yep. I also have some superpower tweezers, which are extremely pointy. They're also extremely difficult to get now that I can no longer travel to China, so please don't break these. Who wants one? Yes. For this and everything that's smaller. Superpowers? Okay. Anybody else want superpowers? Do you want superpowers? These are deadly sharp. Are you sure? Try it. Try it. It makes a difference. Superpowers? Do you need superpowers as well? So I bought these in person in Shenzhen, and I don't know where to get them online. You probably can, but Hold on.
No, I mean the small resistors you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I'll bring you some. Yeah, they're the same size, but they look a bit different.
Okay, I was just wondering what.
Here, you can have some. So they have a black side and a white side, so it's nice for patterns. Yeah. Do you want some as well? Yeah, you just make a nice pattern. Does anybody else need resistors?
I have trouble enough with my capacitors.
Have some superpowers.
Thank you.
Be careful, they are deadly sharp. You as well?
Let's see if that makes a difference.
It does. Be careful.
Ja, je knijpt hem samen eens in.
Okay, if you're done with those, we can try some optional components. So there are two sizes below this one. There's actually another one now, even smaller, but yeah, these are the ones I could get on short notice. So there's 0201 and 01005. And there are places for them on your board if you want to try placing them. They are really hard to see. So it's no problem to place them by hand. Your hands are more than accurate enough. But it's really hard to see whether you've placed them correctly without the microscope. So when I'm working with these sizes, I do actually end up using them in designs now, because now I've been designing some really tiny things. So I do actually end up using these sizes, and I have to place them under the microscope because I just can't see whether I've placed them correctly otherwise. So if somebody wants to try them.
They are smaller than the capacitors.
Yep.
Nothing for me.
Yeah, this is optional. So like if you actually have an assembly factory make these for you, any part that has these, you have to give them more than twice the number that they're going to put on, because the machine will lose more than half of them. Yeah, so pick and place machines have the advantage of being really fast, but they are not accurate compared to humans. Okay. So 0201s.
Grab the microscope.
There you go. That's some 0201s, and there's one size down from there. That's the 01005s. So you have over here, it's marked 0201, 0201, 01005. That's these three.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can try placing them. Anybody else want to try? Yeah? Yeah, so this is fully optional. If you can do this, you're doing way better than the best pick and place machines. So 0201 or 1005. You want to try? Okay. So over here, you have those three pads, and they're labeled 0201, 0201, 01005. You see it? So here's some 0201s.
Thank you. Oh my god. You're kidding me.
And here's some 01005s. You see them?
Yep.
They're really hard to see. Yeah, so I need the microscope for these. I can't place them without. Anybody else want some?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You wanted some? You only have place for two, so.
What do they do in the cat or nothing?
They don't do anything in the cat.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just bragging rights.
Okay.
That's 0201.
Where?
There. And there's some 01005s.
It's like dust.
It is like dust. Actually, the 01005s are smaller than dust. So you have dust particles bigger than that.
I'm not sure I'm going to see them, but
You can see them. There.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can see them. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
can't see whether you've placed them
No,
correctly.
no. Okay.
Yeah, and there's the
Yeah,
0105s. Who wanted some? Yes. Yeah,
I have no idea what I'm doing, so.
that's okay. Okay, you see them?
Yes.
That's 0201s, that's 0105s.
Oh man.
And on your board you have this.
Yeah, these.
Yeah, exactly.
These angles. Okay. Don't sneeze.
You want to try?
I have to look one.
Yeah. So 0201
Thank you very much.
and 01005. Yeah. So these are legitimately small. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have one more part we can try, which is really only there for bragging rights. Like, if this works, then like you have the right to brag maximally, but there's no expectation of it, and like this is not something that most machines can assemble either. So.
You want my leftovers back?
No. Okay, so the next part I'm going to give you is actually a piece of silicon wafer with no package, just the wafer, and it has some solder balls glued to it, and that you can use as a component. It's the same size as 0603, but it has 6 contacts underneath, and it has an orientation, which is a tiny globe that is actually etched into the silicon. Let's see if we can see it on the microscope. So, do you see it? Not very well. Yeah, so here's the part. And you see the little globe in the corner? Yeah, so that is, that's your U2. And it has a circle in one corner. And try to place this. Don't necessarily expect it to work, because this is really super high-end stuff. But if it works, you have maximum bragging rights.
I see no paste.
There is paste.
Just
You're out of focus. But there's not enough paste. Yeah.
I don't think I'll manage. I don't even see these. So.
Well, this one's much bigger.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. But it's the contacts underneath are much smaller.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, who wants one?
Oh, the superpower. Is that cool superpower? Okay. What?
Yeah, I know. That's this one.
Okay.
Yeah. If you place this and this works, you have maximum bragging rights.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, we can detect in software whether it works.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Do we need to align it? Do we need to look at the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
aligning dot?
Yeah, use the microscope. You have a microscope. Oh wait, that's the microscope that's out of battery. Shit, yeah.
Ja, daar moet je groot in, maar dat moest ook op een speciale manier.
Ja, mag ik nou even gebruiken? Ja, dankjewel, dankjewel.
Shit. It just flew away.
Weet je wat ik denk? Als je die superpower ding gebruikt, dan kun je die andere gebruiken om dat ding erop te drukken.
Oké.
Dat blijft bij mij nogal vaak in dat...
Ja, dit stukje, hè?
Als je 2 gebruikt,
Which goes to where?
So this is U2. Ah, crap.
Here.
Yeah, and it has a little circle in one corner, which is almost impossible to see.
Okay.
And that goes on there. Okay, who still needs one? Do you still need one?
I've got them. Oh, that one. Oh yeah. We also have that one. Yes.
Shit.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, so this is literally a piece of silicon wafer.
That's insane.
Yeah. You have one?
What's this?
This is this part.
Oh, yes.
Maximum bragging rights.
Dot goes on the side of the circle.
Yeah. So it's got an orientation. You see the little dot? Yeah, that has to go on the right way.
I'm still toying
Yeah.
around with the small.
Yeah,
bucket.
let me just drop this on your mirror, so
Yes, thank you.
there. Somebody still need one?
I can see the orientation.
Yeah, you probably need to look at it at an angle to see it. Okay, ready?
I hope so.
Okay. Final part.
That's huge.
It is, yeah. Which actually makes it quite difficult. So yeah, yeah, exactly. So you place that by hand is probably easier than with tweezers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I can't see the orientation.
You need help?
Ja, die two heb ik erop gezet. Ja, omdat de vraag of die goed is natuurlijk. Moet je inderdaad niet deze gebruiken. Je doet het zelf wel.
So right now, I turn it a bit so the light reflects off it.
Yeah.
And I can see now it's in that corner. In that corner.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that's the wrong way around for the board. Now it's the right way around.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And you should probably use these. Final part. Oops, sorry. Your final part. You jumped off the board? Yeah.
Isn't there still a 0402?
Oh yeah, you can place one of those there. You still have some.
That's one of those.
What happened? You lost it? Yeah, this happens. Yeah, should I get you another one or? Yeah, this is actually the only part I can't buy at the moment. It's fine. No, this happens all the time. Ah.
Lost thousands. Ja, oké.
Fuck, where'd he go?
I don't know. I can't see it. There's another one.
Oh, it went in here. Okay.
Okay. Thanks very much. Does it?
Huh? Yeah, the really big thing is easiest to place by hand.
Yeah, no, I'm still looking at you. What is it?
Okay, everyone ready?
No.
Huh?
Just the battery holder.
Ah, battery holder. Yeah.
What type of device that you two
This is a memory chip.
memory chip? Oh, yes.
Okay, what's the orientation for that?
There. Where is my thermometer? There.
Ja, kan je niet zeker hoor. Nee, ik denk het niet.
Okay, if you're ready, gently place your board on here without smudging it. Don't do what I just did. Okay. You ready? Okay. So I hope you can recognize yours afterwards, because I have no fucking idea. Yeah, I've heard that before as well. Every single one of these will work. Yep. So next step is reflow. And we're going to reflow them on this. This is a €15 hot plate from Blocker.
I have one like that.
Yeah. And it's perfectly sufficient for assembling super high-tech electronics. I use this to reflow like 100 ball BGAs every other day. No problem at all. Yeah. You don't need high-tech to build high-tech. Okay, so this is actually low temperature solder paste that we're using. So it's...
And what's the low temperature?
So low temperature means it melts at 138 degrees, which is very low. Normal solder paste melts at around 217. Okay, so let's bake a few of these.
But you can also use normally solder paste.
Yeah. So low temperature solder paste is really nice for prototyping, because you can rework it very easily, so you don't need to bring the whole thing up to high temperature to work with it. So I prefer it for prototypes. But yeah, of course you can use normal solder paste as well.
Oh yes.
Okay, so we're now at 66 degrees and heating up. So this is a really terrible hot plate. So on one end it has 60 degrees and on the other end it has 110. This is fine. This is a super forgiving process. So what I'm going to do as soon as, yeah, there we go. Now we're at reflow temperature. So I'm just going to plop a few of these on the hot plate and just let them melt. And what happens, I don't know if you can see it on there. First of all, you get the water vapor coming out. So that's the fumes. And then, I don't know if you can see it, the parts are actually moving. So when the solder melts, the parts will actually move and reposition themselves.
To the good position.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the wrong position.
Exactly, yeah. Because they swim up. So they swim up onto the molten solder, and then they go to the top.
It is already...
Yeah, so this one's already done. This one also looks pretty good.
You need only a minute to
Yeah.
reflow it.
Yeah, it just needs to melt. It just needs to get to temperature, and then that's it. So at this point, when I take them off the hot plate, they're still molten. So they're still very fragile. So I need to very gently slide them. That's why I have this wooden piece here. So I can just gently slide them off. And in industry, this is done with conveyor belt oven. So they go through into a hot place and then out into a place where they can cool a bit. Yeah, if you're doing a lot of boards, it's easier to do in the oven. But if you're just assembling one, it's much, much easier to do on the hot plate because it heats up super quick, it cools down super quick. And also on the hot plate, if something goes wrong, you can actually nudge it right on the hot plate. And I would strongly recommend not trying that with an oven. It doesn't work very well. I have tried. Okay, so 2 more. Who doesn't have his yet? Still missing one more? Mm-hmm. This is actually too hot now. So like I said, this is the worst hot plate. It's actually now too hot. So I just need to watch them so that they don't stay there too long.
Is it a problem when you put it too long on the hot plate?
So the problem if they're there for too long is actually the parts can handle this just fine, but the board itself, the glue in there will soften, and then it becomes floppy. And also the white paint, the white print on there turns yellow. And if you put it there for like 350 for way too long, then actually the glue will carbonize, and you get this black goo coming out of everywhere on your board, and it's really exciting. But the parts can actually handle this quite well. So here we have one part that is slightly misaligned, and I'm just going to push it into place a bit. Yeah, meanwhile I'm going to look at the other boards, which are now cool enough to touch. So that's nice. Some have short circuits, which I'll show you how to fix in a minute. So these 4 boards here have visible short circuits, which I'll show you on the microscope. Can we switch to microscope? Thank you. Do we have a microscope on Netflix? I would watch that all day. Nope.
As in, give me a second, my colleague did it, so means I don't know how to. Which
Game consoles. It was under game consoles. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So over here, we have some short circuits. You see them? Yeah. And I'll show you how to fix them using the worst soldering iron in the world. Okay, this is the absolute shittiest soldering iron you can get. Yeah. It's still absolutely no problem to fix things with it. Because all we need to do is add some flux and touch it. So over here we have some short circuits. I'm going to put in some flux. Oh no, my flux has hardened. There we go. So I'll put in some flux. So this is the stuff that was in the solder paste between the balls of metal. So I've put in some of that, and then I'm just going to touch it with the soldering iron, and the short circuits are gone. See it? Yeah, we have one more over there. Yeah, see? Gone. This is how you fix short circuits. Okay, so we have, you can actually see what happened here. So some of them are on the pads and they reflowed nicely.
Yeah.
Some of them were off the pads and they didn't. But if they're even a bit on the pads, they will get pulled into place. Like here, you see this got pulled into place. And actually you can see the chip there really nicely. I don't know if it will work, but it looks promising. Yeah, so we're going to fix these short circuits here. Anybody want to try reworking? Yeah, go on. I'll just add flux to the top as well. This is the worst soldering iron. No. That's the point is you can use the worst soldering iron for this. Yeah. Yep. So the origin of these short circuits is poor paste print at the beginning. Yep, that's it. Anyone else want to do one? We have plenty. Oh, this one just has one tiny short circuit. Damn it. who's doing live commentary.
Does this get, need to,
Holy shit!
does this need more flux?
Whose is this?
Don't know. What's the pattern?
We'll see in a bit.
Can you check on the TV?
Do you have some more flux? Deze?
Die naald, ja.
Yeah,
Naald eruit?
let me do it.
Oh.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Yes, yes.
On here? Yeah, it needs a lot of pressure because it's a very tiny needle. And somebody stepped on it, so
Oh.
yeah, I don't want people to damage their fingers. That's why I do it. Okay. Okay, so I have one here where the impossible part is soldered correctly. So that's really impressive.
I can't see without the glasses. I had here alternating on and off bits. It looks a bit like.
Looks like C3 might be misaligned there as well, right?
Yeah.
This one actually does have a short circuit. Okay, this one has a smiley. You made a smiley.
Okay, that's clever.
Okay, your U2 doesn't work, but everything else works correctly, so that's nice. Yeah, and then
Can see it goes because of the flux.
so there's one still there.
C3 is
Yeah, C3 is rotated. We'll fix that. There we go. Yeah, so actually, like this kind of part rotation, like on C3 here, it's easiest to do on the hot plate, but you can also do it like this. You can just pick up the part with the soldering iron and melt it in place.
Ik ken toch mijn patroontje niet meer, want die dingen zijn allemaal verdreven. Ja. Dat.
Okay, there's something wrong with the first LED is upside down. Okay. Yeah, this one we haven't fixed yet. No wonder it doesn't make a sound. Who wants to rework? Does anybody want to try rework?
Sure.
Fixing short circuits? So this one only has 2 short circuits. This is really disappointing. Come on, guys, you can do better than this.
Okay, so
We had no fun.
let's see which one.
Those 2.
This is mine.
Yep.
But some of the things moved. I had them
Yeah.
alternating originally.
Well, congratulations.
I did.
You did U2 correctly.
Wow.
So you can tell because when you switch it on, if U2 is correctly identified, then this LED lights up.
Which one?
There's only one that lights up
Okay.
over there.
Oh, next to the.
Yeah, and that one lights up, which means U2 is connected correctly, which means you have maximum bragging rights.
Thank you. Thank
Well
you.
done. Okay, one thing.
Luck.
So these are all attached with solder only, and the battery holder is not going to be strong enough with just this solder connection. So you should add some more solder manually to the 2 pads of the battery holder.
Okay.
Okay, but
Small error there.
Yeah, you can use the nicer one as well. So let's see. Okay, no sound, but U2 is correctly attached. Wow, whose is this? One straight line and then one going around the top edge. Looks like this. Pattern looks like this.
Whose is it?
I don't know. Whose is it? You had one job. Okay, so the sound is not working correctly on this one, which could be the speaker, or it could be the short circuit, which is not completely gone.
Shortcut, I think.
Let me see. Yeah, there's a short there. Very visible. You want to rework it yourself? No, no, no. It's back there. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's gone. It's so nice and easy to fix these things. So 1, 2, 3.
Did it work?
Hello. So U2 did not work. I'm checking everything else. Everything else does work. So well done.
Yeah, thank you.
So this one has a short circuit here. I'm nearsighted, so I can do this without a microscope.
Oh, that's good luck.
Yeah, superpowers. So let's see if this works. Okay, it hisses, so that's promising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, everything except U2 is correct on this one. Whose pattern is this? It has some resistors as well.
Nobody? Next time we probably better mark it with a
You had one job! Come on! Whose is it?
Maybe the reflow did magic. Like this looks like mine actually. Because I have it alternating.
You had the resistors as well, right? Yeah.
So this wasn't mine then.
No, because this has no resistors.
I had resistance.
Yeah, and this one has no resistors.
For me anymore.
Oh, you can still brag, because have a look at everything else.
But U2 is not working.
So
Oh, there's one missing there.
there's one missing, but the smallest one is on there, even though there was way too little paste. So that's nice. Yeah, so that's actually pretty good. So you can actually see why U2 is not working. It's rotated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to do this or not?
No, of course you can do it. You can do this, but you will need to do this with hot air then.
Okay.
Yeah, so then ideally under the microscope with hot air, lift it and try and place it again. Yeah. So all the boards that we reworked that have some flux on them, they need to be cleaned with alcohol, very gently.
Okay.
Okay, what's up with this one?
You have to remove the flux.
Okay, so this one, whose pattern is this?
Could be mine, but it's kind of skewed.
Okay. So what's special about this one? U2 actually works. So well done. And you want to solder the socket.
Yes.
But what is the function of the cat? What is he doing?
Okay, if you touch it correctly, then it will not hiss at you. And if you touch it correctly for a long time, then it will purr at you. Very, very quietly.
Where you can touch it?
You have to find out.
Like with the real cat.
Yeah. Okay, whose pattern is this? You had one job. How many times do I have to repeat this? Okay, so this one, everything except you two is working correctly. Yeah, and the small ones are all there, except one of them has lifted because it was sitting only on one pad. So now it's sticking straight up in the air. Yeah. Okay, congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, next one. What's up with this one? This one needs testing. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. Whose pattern is this? Is that yours? Yes or no? You had one job. Okay, so this one's yours. Absolutely everything on this one works, including you two, but you didn't place the really tiny ones. Yeah. Yeah. So there were some short circuits on there, but you two actually works, even though it's... yeah. Yeah. So you need to clean this very, very gently so that you don't break off U2, which is basically holding on there by magic. Alcohol! The solution to all flux, alcohol. Okay, this one here needs testing. Let's see. It hisses. And one LED is the wrong way around. Okay, whose is this?
It's
It has resistors on it. Okay, so we're going to fix the LED in a bit. Then we have this one here. This one is silent. And this is probably actually because of the speaker.
Ja, doe er voorzichtig mee. Nee, ga
Ja,
je
want we kunnen ook met die proberen, maar dat maakt mij niet
als je
uit.
me even 2 minuten geeft, dan kan het
Ja,
zijn dat
dat
ik
ik
er
hier eentje kan uitvinden.
Want die ene die daar in de hoek staat, is een professioneel soldeerstation.
Van iemand. Ja, er stond al een naam.
So whose pattern is this? It's like everybody had the same idea. So whose pattern is this? Okay. Yeah, so this one, U2 is on there correctly, but the speaker is not. So the speaker is soldered only on one side. That's okay, we can fix this, this is no problem. But we'll need to do this on the hot plate in a minute. So this one I haven't tested yet. 1, 2, 3, 5. So whose pattern is this?
Mine.
Okay. So everything except U2 works. Well done.
Yep.
Your U2 is the wrong way around. No, it's actually on there correctly, but it's the wrong way around.
Oh, de dots eronder, ja.
Oh yeah, now you see her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Well done. Okay, so we need to fix the LED on this one and the speaker on this one. Have I tested everyone's board?
Oké, dankjewel.
Yes? Okay. So while we're fixing these, you can solder the two pads of the battery holder, because otherwise it will break off eventually. It needs a bit more solder. So you can use the station here. Okay. And we're going to flip a LED. You want to try this yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So that LED here needs rotating. So I'm going to heat up the hot plate, and you should probably grab a chair for this.
It was P5?
This- Yeah. Yeah, let's let it heat up first. And for this one, we'll swap the speaker.
Okay, what's wrong?
So it's not correctly soldered on one side. I'm not sure what happened there. Possibly too little paste on that side, or it was maybe sitting not quite flat.
This would work for the U2 to reheat it on the plate?
Yeah, but it's easier to do it with hot
Okay.
air.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. Just a question now.
Yeah, no problem. It's precision manipulation.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can we get the hot plate on the stream? Okay, so we have operating temperature. So we're working on D5, and ideally you want something so you can rest your hand next to it.
Yeah.
So like this,
Okay.
and then you hold that with one hand, and with the other hand you rotate it. So I'm not sure if it's melted yet. It's easiest to rotate it in place. So not
What do you
not lifting it, but
Mhm.
letting it rotate in place. I'm not sure if it's melted yet. Not yet. Now. Okay. And now no, just put it back. The other way. Exactly. Got it?
Think so?
Wait, don't take it away. Okay, now we let it go. So for this one we need a new speaker. I'll just go around and grab one. Sorry. New speaker. Yep. You want to swap it yourself? Okay, so we plop this on. Yeah, that's more than hot enough. So here's the new speaker. And it's now in the correct orientation. So we lift that speaker, put it here, lift this one, put it there. Okay?
But there was this notch.
Yeah, now it's correctly oriented. Ah, okay.
Can
Go on. And careful not to smudge anything else. Yeah, so you can see there's much more paste on one pad than on the other, and that's why this happened. Okay, plop it on. So one side, other side, yeah, there we go. And then we move the whole board very gently off. That's it.
okay.
What does?
The device switched off automatically.
It should go into sleep mode, like cats do, 17 hours a day. Yeah,
And you see no light and it's off.
but it's still touch sensitive, so
Yes.
you can still touch it.
Yes.
And this is how you
Yeah.
make it happy.
Yeah.
You see the light, the eyes
yeah.
light up?
Yes, yes.
Oh, oké, gewoon even die dingen die...
Ja, gewoon echt.
Yeah, now I hear nothing.
It's very quiet.
It's still quiet.
I hear it.
Do you hear anything?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can somebody cross check me?
Very high frequency, maybe.
No.
Oh yeah, that's.
You don't hear it?
I hear another device, but not this one.
Yeah, that's burned, definitely.
Oh yeah.
No, it's like 60 hertz. Huh? Sorry, like 6 hertz. It's like 6 hertz.
need a battery too.
You need a battery. Yes, we have so many batteries. Here. Who needs a battery? We have all the batteries. You got it?
Yes, I hear him. Very nice.
Okay, so let's see if it works. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, now it works. So you need to solder these two because this needs more mechanical strength. Otherwise, when you remove the battery, you'll tear it off. So it needs more solder than the paste that we put in. But everything else is done. Yeah, go for it. I recommend doing it with hot air under a microscope.
Did this YouTube work actually?
No, U2 did not work. And you know because when you switch it on, this light lights up if U2 is correct. And it did not, but now you fix the first one, so that works, and all the others worked already. So now you need to gently clean this area around the chip, because we had to remove short circuits.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then you're done. Well done.
Should the T4 burn permanently or?
If the cat is happy, yes.
Okay.
Now the cat is unhappy, and it's off.
Okay, that's the idea. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so when the cat is sleeping, the battery should last about 6 months. So you can like wear it permanently if you want. You can break it out of the frame. Okay, there's one more thing. So before you take this away, so this is also my business card. And on the front, it has some out-of-date information. Yeah, because the IRC network that I was using before has been taken over by an asshole. And therefore, I brought some censorship stickers, which you can put over the Freenode name. So they're not actually stickers, they're actually flexible circuit boards, which I've cut up. So who wants a censorship sticker?
Where should we place it?
On top of Freenode, because Freenode is no more.
Oh, okay.
Censorship stickers, anyone?
Does this finish the workshop, the official part?
Yeah, so this is the last thing. Once everybody has soldered their battery holder, we're done. So censorship sticker. There you go. And this goes where it says Freenode, because Freenode is no more. Yeah, you need to remove the white part. The white part is the backing. Who still needs a censorship sticker? Here you go. So that goes where it says Freenode.
Oh, okay.
Okay, everything okay?
I'm not sure.
So this is how the battery goes on
Okay.
there. And congratulations, this is freaking amazing. Your U2 is correct. So when you plug it in the first time, this lights up when U2 is correct. And the battery goes in like that. And you should solder these 2 points before you put the battery in, because you're already bending this quite a bit, because you tried to push it in like that. And next time when you put the battery in, next time you try and take it out, it will rip off the board unless you reinforce it.
So put it in here and over here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll do that.
So, Kliment, we're still streaming. I want to finish the streaming part.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So this is officially the end of the workshop. I have no idea where the camera is.
Here.
Camera is here.
Yeah, it's
Hey.
kind of flexible today.
Yes. Yeah. So this was surface mount electronics assembly for terrified beginners. And every single board here has worked, and some of them, even the impossible part, has worked. So well done.
Congratulations, everyone, for soldering. With this, I want to finish the official part. You still can stay here and walk around, and gonna give a tour in a moment. So, if you want to see the other places, okay, this is it. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.